Michael Porter Jr. was drafted by the Denver Nuggets in 2018 with the 14th overall pick, and the Nuggets took a risk on an injury-prone player. But just 3 years into MPJ's young career, the 22-year-old has finally been putting the league on notice to what's to come within the next coming years in Denver. Before we discuss Michael Porter Jr.'s amazing play this season and how he's going to be a key factor, especially in this year's NBA playoffs, please make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on the bell so you guys get my videos right away. Thanks for 5,000 subscribers, 6,000 is next, and with all that being said, let's get right into the video. When Michael Porter Jr. was first drafted into the NBA, he was coming off a back injury and he barely played at Missouri, where he was drafted from. And he didn't play his entire rookie season, so it was a pretty big risk that the Denver Nuggets took, and that's the reason why MPJ fell down to the 14th overall pick in the draft. He was supposed to be a top 5 pick, but his back injury made him go and fall all the way down to the 14th spot. In his first NBA season, Michael Porter Jr. didn't play a single game, and then in his second season, MPJ only played 55 games but showed promise, averaging 9.3 points and showed a lot of potential, especially in the future. Michael Porter Jr. also was a big help in last year's NBA bubble, especially in the playoffs, as the Denver Nuggets desperately needed him, and he provided those big nuggets and scoring that the bench desperately needed. But this season, the new and improved Michael Porter Jr. is averaging a much better 18.5 points per game, 7.6 rebounds, and 1 assist while shooting 44% from 3. Yes, man, and MPJ isn't one of those players that only shoots a couple threes a game, man. This man will shoot whenever he wants, and it's gonna go in most likely. In my personal opinion, MPJ is putting up most improved player numbers and has a case to win it, and many people aren't even talking about it. He's having a much improved season, especially going from 9 points to 18 points per game. It's a pretty big leap, and you really don't see that out of many young players, especially out of people who are injured. Michael Porter Jr. is a 6'10", 220-pound small forward who can quite literally do it all. He can shoot the clear ball. Clearly, he's shooting 44% from 3 this year. MPJ can also attack the paint and dunk on any center on any given night. That's what makes him so versatile. When you think he's gonna shoot, he's gonna drive to the basket. And he doesn't have a bad handle either. Sometimes I see this guy doing some step backs and crazy handles where I just get amazed, especially in the recent couple of games. He's doing these step backs, hitting it over some of these taller players, and it's just so impressive how fast he can get his jump shot off, especially being 6'10". And the crazy part is he's still learning the ropes of the NBA, as he hasn't even played a full season yet. That's what's so crazy. His potential isn't even 50% unlocked, and he's putting up numbers like this and doing what he's doing at such a young age. So on your screen, I'm going to put up Michael Porter Jr.'s last 10 games and his stats. Look at them, man. That's crazy. He's been averaging 22 points and 10 rebounds for about the last 10 games. And that's some nice numbers, especially for a 22-year-old. And look at the teams they faced. The Spurs, Celtics, Warriors, Heat, Portland. These aren't some bum teams. He hasn't been putting up empty stats because they've been winning most of these games. The Denver Nuggets are up there. They're not one of these lower tier teams. Even if, the star player Jamal Murray is injured, they're still going to be a really good top tier team in the NBA, and they're going to make a deep playoff push. As you guys can clearly see, Michael Porter Jr. is heating up this year, and it's the first time in his young career where he's fully healthy, and he's played 51 total games this season. And especially with Jamal Murray being out this season, Michael Porter Jr. is already taking advantage of this opportunity, as he's becoming the full second option of this team next to Nikola Jokic. But even when sometimes Jokic has a bad night, Michael Porter Jr. always steps in and scores with ease and leads the team to victory. And it really seems like the coaching staff is finally starting to give in on Michael Porter Jr. and gain his trust, because especially this year, he's playing around 35 to 40 minutes every single night, especially for the past couple of games. Last year, you could see him coming off the bench, maybe getting 25 to 30 a night, and his minutes have really improved. You could say that because they need more scoring due to Jamal Murray being out, but I also think it's a factor of the coaching staff just finally trusting the process in MPJ, and I would too, because look at it, man. You're letting the kid play, and this is what he's going to produce. A lot of people might say that he was inconsistent last year and he didn't deserve the minutes, But again, that's alright, man. Now we are finally seeing what Michael Porter Jr. is made of, and he is the future of this Denver Nuggets. You guys have been seeing the highlights all video long, and it's just crazy to see some of the moves he's doing. He can get to the paint with ease, shoot the ball. He has a nice pull-up game, grabs rebounds, long wingspan. He's 6'10", and especially for a small forward, he doesn't seem that stiff. He seems more like he moves like a guard, like a big guard, and it just seems like he's getting more and more used to this NBA game, and scoring is going to come to him with ease. The one knock a lot of people knock him for is his defense. He is young, and defense is usually a problem with most players his age, and especially since he hasn't even played a full NBA season, I don't see defense being a problem in the future. It might be a problem now, but he's 6'10", he has a nice wingspan, he's 220 pounds, so I do believe that defense is just going to come with more experience and the more coaching it gets. If we look at the roster of the Denver Nuggets, it's obviously led by Nikola Jokic, the all-star, potentially MVP center this year. They do have a nice couple of pieces with Jamal Murray, but he is injured right now. He was going to be a big help in the playoffs, but that's just better for Michael Porter Jr. to step up. They have a decent point guard right now in replacement of him with Campazzo. They have Aaron Gordon on the team. He has been a nice fit. Bol, again, he's still a player that's, needs more practice, to be honest, because he barely gets any minutes for this team. Will Barton, JaVale McGee, Monte Morris, PJ Dozier, Paul Millsap bringing that veteranship to this team. They just recently signed Austin Rivers. So this playoffs is basically set up for Michael Porter Jr. to prove himself with the Nuggets, and he's gonna go off, and I just can't wait for the playoffs to come. And in my opinion, to end this video off, I do believe that he is the future of the league and the future of the Denver Nuggets. But let me know what you guys think of Michael Porter Jr. Am I gassing it? Are people just getting too overhyping him? Or is he the real deal? I want to get to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions, so get in the comment section and let me know. But this is going to end off the video. Thank you guys for all the support shown lately. I'm going to make a lot of different type of videos, so hopefully you guys enjoy them. Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on the bell so you guys get my videos right away. I can't say this enough, man. This channel is running because of you guys. So with all that being said, I'm out. Peace.